or they can just watch the replay after. Good afternoon. My name is Oluwatoni, and today we're going to be talking on how protective styles can help your natural hair grow. So, if you don't already know, protective styles can be the best thing or the worst thing to happen to your natural hair. And for a lot of people, this is their reality. Protective styles are ruining their hair. And today I'm going to be saying how we can change that. Okay, so quick introduction. My name is Oluwatoni Adebisi. I'm a natural enthusiast. I've been blogging on the subject for over 3 years. I started my natural hair journey sometimes in 2013 by transitioning from relaxed hair. I did not have a magnificent reason. I just did not like the relaxer anymore. I felt like my hair was looking ugly brown and my hair was literally chopping off. It was not attaining any new length. So that was annoying. And during my transition, I did a lot of low manipulation styles and protective hairstyles. So I have done the bad side of protective hairstyles and the good side of protective hairstyles. This is why I am more equipped to host this webinar today, because I've lived that life. Okay, so I did a lot of braids, twists, various cornrow styles, and I did not actually cut my ends until the end of 2017, which was after I started my blog. And my natural hair journey has been involved with a lot of trial and error and mind renewal. But I have made my way to a state where I am comfortable in my progress and I'm finally reaching my hair goals. I've been for a while now, but then, whenever you just reach a hair goal that you did not think you could, it's like, wow, okay, okay, okay. So, quick survey, just tell me which of these, which of these you fall into. Are you a new natural? Are you an old natural? Are you transitioning? And then what are your hair goals? I really want to know hair goals, health or length. It doesn't have to be one, it can be both, because I mean, best of both worlds, right? So just tell me which one you would like, and then I'm just going to wait for like 10 seconds. Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, protective hairstyles entail covering our hair, especially the ends, because the ends are the weakest parts, the oldest parts, and they are the most likely to break off and fall off. So we need to protect them half the time so they do not just break off. And protective styles are commonly done with extensions that cover the entire length of the hair, but a protective style does not have to be done with an extension, and it does not have to cover the entire length of your hair. As long as the ends are protected, then the criteria is checked. So let's move on. So protective styles are great for when you don't have time to care for your hair or you want to try something new. Like for me, I do not see myself ever coloring my hair. But if I wanted to try out a new hair color, then I would probably do that hairstyle or the hair color in braids, or maybe faux locks. I'm not really a huge fan of wigs because I'm just weird. So if you want to switch up hair color, hair texture, anything, you can always do that with protective styles, and that is why I love protective styles. Also, they protect your hair from the environment, they keep it in a fashionable look, and they save you the stress of everyday hair care. We all know that stress. Like personally, I'm an advocate for not doing anything to your hair every day, because I believe that except maybe you're really struggling with moisture, if you moisturize your hair today, your hair should still be good tomorrow, and you can do that every other day. You understand what I'm saying? So everyday hair care can be very stressful, and it's very important to not over manipulate your hair. And this is one of the ways that protective styles come to help, because they help you leave your hair alone, and that helps you retain length and keep your hair in a healthy state if you're doing it right. So where you can learn more about caring for your hair in protective styles in the post that I have added to the live chat, and it's also in the description of this video. Types of protective hairstyles include braids, cornrows, twists, weaves, wigs, faux locks, and updos. First of all, we will dwell on updos, and I will share on what you should be doing before, during, and after your protective hairstyle. Okay. Updos. As I've mentioned earlier in this post, protective hairstyles are meant to protect the ends of your hair. This is the sole reasons why updos, whether with extensions or not, can be classified under protective style. A updo is a hairstyle where the hair is pulled off the shoulders and neck into a specific style. It can be held in place with clips, berets, other hairstyle accessories, and they are stereotypically worn for fancy events like weddings, proms, and other formal events that have been attributed to elegance over time. It makes what makes an updo protective is when your ends are tucked away from the element. This means while a frohawk can be considered an updo, it is most definitely not a protective style, except it's those frohawks where you actually tuck in your ends, but then most frohawks like the ends are like just sticking out, and so that's not protecting. It was cute though. So, okay, retaining length with updos. From what we have discussed on how updos can be protective, if you would like to retain your hair length using these styles, then the first thing I would recommend is to do protective updos where your ends are tucked away and kept safe from the elements in the society that can wear your hair down oh so often. If you can combine your hair with extensions to keep your hair inside and the extensions outside facing the world, then that would also be a great way to keep your hair protected. Next thing, and very important, is to make your styles last at least the work week. That's 5 days. Manipulating your hair to put in these updos that will sometimes require your hair to be stretched and thoroughly tangled every day will put a strain on your hair and your hands. You know what I'm talking about. That's way too much work. That is very unnecessary. I can't imagine having to do a bun. Like I have this like nice bun that I like to do with my hair and like a donut packer. But then I can't imagine doing it every day. If I ever need to have my hair in that bun for like more than a day because maybe I have an event or something like that, then I make sure I do it well and I protect my hair so that I can maintain that style at least for 3 days because I understand it's very easy for your hair to get rough and all of that. But just try your best to make a updo last you a week. So you don't have to wake up sometimes in the middle of the week and you're like, oh, so I have to redo my hair. What am I going to do? And then you don't need all that. Okay. So choose a style that can last you a week. Make sure you take care of the style during that week by wearing a bonnet, scarf, satin pillow, whatever you will at night. And be sure to keep the front neatly brushed up so your hair looks tidy. If you're the type to do your edges, then do your edges. Do your edges. And if it's starting to get rough, but then it's like maybe Thursday, then you can just headband. Okay, don't stress yourself with changing up the style. Except maybe it's like you have a really important event and then you don't want to be going all headband, and then you cannot switch it up. Just do something. That outliers are fine, but then don't make it everyday practice to everyday style your hair. That's stress. Okay, okay. So before you install a style, when you install a protective style, chances are you'll be keeping your hair in the style for at least 2 weeks on average. I would say 2 weeks on average. At least I think that's the minimum amount of time that I leave my hair in protective styles, 2 weeks. Especially if it's braids. Like if it's an up to obviously 2 weeks is not possible. But then if it's braids or something like that, 2 weeks minimum. And during those 2 weeks, I would not be thoroughly moisturizing my hair because my strands will be tucked in the braids and I will not waste my product on the braids. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I will not waste my product by moisturizing braids. No. I'm not going to waste my products on the extensions. So, as a natural, it is important to make sure your hair is moisturized properly and cleaned too. This means before you install the hairstyle, you would have a full wash day, deep condition, keep your scalp healthy, keep your scalp clean, keep your strands moisturized, all of that stuff. Like, just try to just sit down and try to be like, okay, I'm doing this for the next 2 weeks, and then you try to add moisture for the next 2 weeks. Obviously, it's not going to be exactly moisture for the next 2 weeks, but then just have that mindset so you know that okay, this day is my wash day where I am going to give my hair some love. And then you really take care of your hair, take your time, deep condition and everything. Because you know for the next 2 weeks, you will just literally wake up, spray moisturizing mist, and then pack your hair in a bun or like style your braids however you want to. And you won't really care about your hair that much. So this day that you're going to take out to do something for your hair, make a date out of it. Okay. After that, you need to oil your scalp with lightweight oils so you can keep your hair moisturized and healthy. I said lightweight oils, and underline that. It is very important to avoid the heavier oils and creams because that will just clog up your scalp pores, and that can cause scalp problems or build up, which will make your scalp itchy and your protective style will be a nightmare. You know those people that constantly go like this? It doesn't really look good. Or you constantly, nah, don't do that. No. Just try to take care of your scalp as much as possible. And then if you're doing a protective hairstyle and then you see that your hair is getting to that stage, my good sis, my good brother, whoever you are, it's time to take it out. Just take it out. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, during the protective style period is the best part because this is where you just get to keep your hair away and pretend you don't have any natural hair responsibilities. It's fun, but this part is also important for you if you want to achieve your maximal length retention during your protective hairstyle. In this period, you need to ensure that your scalp is properly taken care of so your hair can grow optimally. So moisturize every part of your hair that you have exposed. Like your roots, if your roots are exposed, then you can spray it down with a moisturizing mist or massage your scalp with a lightweight oil. Don't go up, don't put shea butter on your scalp, especially if you have a protective style on. Don't put shea butter on your scalp, period, because it's way too thick. Go with lighter weight oils. That would just like penetrate and then do all the stuff it needs to do. Okay? Okay. So make sure you clean your scalp with shampoo, like dry shampoo or wet shampoo, if you're going to be leaving your protective style in for a long time. So if your protective style is going to be lasting 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and like okay, the hair still looks good and you feel like it's fine, you want to do that, then please wash your scalp in between because there is no way you can tell me that there would not be at least a little bit of build-up within those 6 weeks to 4 weeks. So wash your scalp. If you're going to do a hairstyle like fall locks, because I know some locks can be washed with like your natural hair and everything, then you can just have a total wash day. But if you're not going to have that kind of hairstyling, then you can get the dry shampoo or something. Just keep your scalp clean and airy so that you can actually, grow out hair. That's the whole point of the protective style. That you're growing out hair and then you're retaining the hair you're growing out. So take care of your scalp during those times. And then it doesn't have to be every day. I've told you, you literally don't have to do anything every day. Your scalp will not die if you don't massage it one day. So you can decide to go maybe once in 2 days, once in 3 days. That's fine. That's fine. It does not have to be every day. That's a lot of stress. So next, I'll be sharing some tips for ensuring you get the best out of your protective style and your length retention journey. Okay, let's go. Number one, stop with the tightness. There are so many posts on Instagram about people that have really, really, really tight hair, and then it's like they gripped her scalp, they gripped her brain, they gripped, in fact, no, 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 no. I know you want to look good. Nobody can fault that. But gripping your hair, your ends too tight and pulling every last strand of hair is not the way to go. Tightness will cause tension, headaches, blisters, breakage, over time alopecia because your hair will get pulled out at the roots so many times that it decides, okay, I'm not going to grow anymore. I'm that's not fun. Like alopecia is a real problem that people actually go through and they cannot do anything about it. Like people that have like hereditary alopecia or something like that. And then high key, the person in us a lot of times like, oh, the person doesn't have hair. And then you can try to be judgmental from time to time. You see people that have bald head and then this judgy person in your mind is telling you, oh, it's not really nice even though obviously they look beautiful. So if you already don't want to be bald headed, then why would you sabotage yourself and make yourself bald headed against your will? It doesn't really make any sense. If you want to go about it, then just do it and rock that look. But if you don't want to, then like don't. Take care of your hair well. Okay? Okay. So instead, you can leave out some baby hairs. Like I like to call my baby hairs like middle aged or something like that because it's well, but you can decide to leave out your baby hair, slick them with a nice edge control, or you can decide to renew the first row if you can, maybe once a week, once in 2 weeks, if the front isn't not looking fresh. That way, you don't need to braid the front look. If you don't need to braid the front row very tiny, you know how people braid the hair and they're like, oh, it's going to be like this for 3 weeks. So I have to braid it, keeping in mind that by the third week it would get really rough. So and I want to braid it really tight. You understand? So you don't need to do that if you already have in mind that, oh, I'm going to be renewing the front. So you just read it like, oh, I know it's going to last me a week. It doesn't matter. So you don't have to like group the whole thing. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but like if you just keep in mind that you're going to renew the front once a week, then you don't need to overly pull the thing so it looks very fresh and crisp and perfect. Perfection is a myth. So let's move on. Let's move on. Don't wear heavy hairstyles. I know you love to look good, and those jumbo braids that are hitting your mid thigh look good on Pinterest. But if your hair is too heavy, then you are setting yourself up for headaches, breakage, and heartache. I know, I said heartache. Those heavy extensions will pull down on your hair and leave it hanging by the threads, literally. Like, I've had experiences, I think it has actually happened to me too, where I'm doing my hair with like a hair braider or something, and they like grip the front of my hair. Like I don't know, I have like this weird thing where it's like it's more out than the rest of the place. So they like cut this small section and then they now braid it with like a whole full size braid. Obviously, these tiny pieces of hair are way too fragile to hold such a heavy weight. And then you can be sure that my hair is going to cut off in less than a week. And then I'm just going to wake up and see a braid dangling on my pillow. That's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. So moderation is key. If you're going to do a heavy hairstyle, wear it for a shorter period of time and then let your hair rest afterwards. Or you can do lightweight hairstyles and those will still look cute. Okay, like faux looks, for example, are actually very lightweight. At least all the ones I've done are very lightweight, and then it can still be very long because like it's just like wrapped hair, and then there's like a lot of air in between it, so it's lightweight. So you can do that if you want to have those really long hairstyles. But then doing those heavy braids or something like that, I don't think it's worth it. I just don't. And if you're going to do it, then let it be for a few days, maybe a week, 2 weeks, and then you're done. Don't try to stretch it out for like a month. That is so much strain on your hair. It's unfair. So a healthy lifestyle. I don't know. I feel like I'm obliged to talk about this every time because a lot of people don't realize that a healthy lifestyle actually plays a very, very, very important role in their natural hair journey, their natural hair growth, length retention, all of that stuff. A lot of people just like a lot of people try to blame genetics, and then I have said in my previous video, if you haven't watched that, then you should definitely watch it, that genetics is something that is like a foundation, and then it depends on how you build on that foundation. So if you're constantly taking care of your hair, you're eating right and all that stuff, you will have healthy hair, period. Okay, so let's start. Drink 8 glasses of water a day to keep hydrated. A well-hydrated you equals smooth skin, and healthy hair amidst a lot of other positive effects. Your hair is like a plant. You need to water the roots. That is by you drinking water. I'm giving this explanation so many times about how like imagine like your hair is the leaves of the plant, like the branch and all of that stuff, and then this like your human body is the roots and the soil and everything. So if you're just watering the leaves of a plant alone, the leaves may probably look cute for a while, but then if the roots are starved of water and moisture and nutrients and all of that stuff, it will only be a matter of time before your plant dies. That's facts. You need to live a healthy lifestyle to have healthy hair. It's an extension of your body. If you're not healthy, it will show in your hair. If you watch my last video, you will see how I shared on what types of food to add to your diet if you want to optimize your natural hair growth. The list to the video is in the Frontiers playlist and also in the info box above. So the key to getting the best of your protective hairstyles is that if you're growing optimally and you're retaining length, then your hair will be longer by the time you're done with your styles. Now you can be sure it won't grow 2 inches in a week, but the little lengths add up from time to time, and you will suddenly realize that you're reaching your hair length goals, or maybe you're not reaching your hair length goals, but you're reaching your hair health goals. So, anyways, you're going to be hitting goals and you're going to be healthy, and that's the goal, okay? So, moisturize your hair. I've talked about this a little bit before, and it may be hard with some protective hairstyles, but you can lightly spray your edges and your roots with your water oil mix or massage with oils and just seal to keep your hair healthy. Like I talked about this before, like if you're doing braids, for example, you have the sections all neatly planned out and everything. So you can just spray your leave-in conditioner and then massage a lightweight oil. So I already said don't oversaturate your hair because it will just cause the hair to remain damp and pick up a weird odor. That's not cute. Also, don't oil your scalp every day. It will just give you build up and get your hair dirty faster. Moderation is key, okay? It is key. Okay, let's move on. Final tips. Keep your hair in for maximum 4 to 6 weeks only. Don't keep your protective style in for more than 6 weeks. Not only will this cause accumulation of dirt, it will cause itchiness, it will cause tension, and that can break your hair. Just imagine something has been pulling on your hair or dangling from your hair for 6 weeks. The likelihood of your hair breaking off is a whole lot more than the likelihood of your hair breaking off if you just had that styling for 2 weeks. So it's like the more or the longer you keep your hair in that style, the higher the likelihood of your hair breaking off, falling out, and all of that negative stuff that happens with protective hairstyles that people have, said. So protect your hair at bedtime, wrap your hair in silk, satin, whatever you want to use, or use a silk and satin pillowcase just to prevent unnecessary loss of moisture. And protect your hair at bedtime can also slow down the rate at which your style gets rough looking. So especially for me, one of the reasons why I mostly leave my braids in for like just 2 weeks is because I already know that my hair is going to start looking rough in a bit. So I don't expect myself to be able to keep the hair on for like a month and everything will be looking fine. So I just accept it. But you can actually slow down the rate at which your styles get rough looking by making sure they are protected with the satin scarf or anything like that. Because every surface that your hair rubs on kind of creates some type of friction. And then the friction is what can cause the split ends, the dead ends, all of that stuff. But if your hair is wrapped silk, sorry, if your hair is wrapped against silk, silk has less friction. So the likelihood of your hair breaking off or getting rough, all of that stuff is reduced. This is why a lot of people shout silk satin, silk bonnet, satin bonnet. So like you should probably listen to their shouts and screams. It will do you a whole lot of good. How to take down styles. Put a light coating of oil on your hands to enhance sleep. First of all, your hair has been in these braids and okay, maybe you sprayed it with like moisturizing leave-in conditioner once in a while because like I feel like nobody wants to exactly waste all their leave-in conditioner on the extension. So the extension is probably dry. Like even if your hair inside is still moisturized, the extension itself is morally dry because it has been exposed to all the elements and all of that stuff. So when you're taking down your hair, it can get hard and it can get frustrating because it may not want to move as smoothly as you want it to. So put a light coating of oil on your hands to enhance sleep. So when you're losing it, it comes off a whole lot easier. Be patient and gentle. If you tug on the extension too much, you would most likely cause your hair to be pulled off with it. especially when you're going to the sensitive areas like the front or the back. Those areas that are very sensitive, you know what I'm saying? Don't just tug on it. Like maybe you're losing, but then it's like remaining here, and then you just want to like pull it out. Don't do that. Go up a little bit, and you'll be fine. If you are really really frustrated, then you can get somebody to help you, or you can like cut it at the appropriate length. Because I know a lot of people, when they do the braids are literally at your waist, and then your hair is here, and then you decide to cut it like slightly above your waist. I'm like, who are you playing? You know your hair did not get that long over 2 weeks. Calm down. So when cutting, I already said that when cutting your hair, cut the extensions about an inch lower than where you believe your hair stops. This will help prevent any accident. I know a lot of times that's happened to me so many times where I'm cutting my hair and it's usually in the middle because I can't really see it that well. So I just like take it up and I just like cut it and then I realize I cut a lot of my hair. And then I'm just like, okay, it's hair. It will go back. And then I had to recite that to myself so I stopped feeling bad because I feel bad that I just like literally wasted all the growth I had. And so that's probably why my hair in the middle may be shorter than the rest of my head. I really haven't done a length check like that, so I can't tell you categorically what my hair length situation is like. But hopefully it's even, hopefully. After the takedown, have a wash day. So, like we said, in the beginning, have a wash day. At the end, have a wash day. And the beginning, your wash day was so that you could prepare your hair for the journey it was about to take. And now your hair has taken that journey and it's done. So you need to reward your hair with some nutrients, with some juices, with some love. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your hair, take a wash day, and just, steam your hair, do whatever you want. Enjoy that wash day. You deserve the self care. Okay, okay. So keep in mind that your hair is not the same, and because something works for somebody does not mean it will work for you. So, because somebody has had good experiences or negative experiences with a particular protective hairstyle, with a particular hair mask, with a particular food, does not mean that you would have the same results. So this is why the beautiful thing about our natural hair journey is that we get to try new things and learn what works for us. And that is why I decided to set up my natural hair growth program, because I realized that a lot of people are still in the process of finding what works for their hair and will benefit from having a steady stream of information as well as a community of like-minded naturals to offer advice, support, and try out new challenges with, and new hairstyles too. Obviously, we will not all just be looking like photocopies of ourselves. But it would be nice if somebody would try out a different hairstyle and be like, all right, you guys should try this hairstyle, really nice. You take that one's really nice, and all of that stuff. Like that's how knotless braids started. Somebody did it and they're like, oh, I like this. And then all of a sudden they shared it to another person. I'm like, oh, I really like this too. And then now it's literally a trend and it's really nice too. So what is a drop of black hair growth program? It is a monthly subscription program dedicated to helping you go from where you are on your hair care journey to where you want to be. Every member on their first month gets a free consultation with me, and we will have a hair care action plan together. I will add all members to a private group where they can interact every month. Every week we'll have Zoom webinars where I'll be sharing a certain topic. There'll be webinars, there will be live Q&A and interactions. So we would also have a group Pinterest board, and every quarter we'll be giving out prizes to members of the squad that have stood out. It'll be based on who has been the most helpful, who has been the most, supportive, and not based on who has grown the most hair. That doesn't make any sense. Over time, we'll go on challenges together, try out new hair products, new hairstyles, new hair practices, and this will build accountability as we move forward and look forward to checking in every week with other members of the group. So, how can this program help you achieve your hair goals? The goal is simple. Knowledge is power, but power can be useless if you don't know how to apply it. and have a community that supports you and encourages you while applying it. This is what this program offers, a way to get important hair care and growth related information, knowledge and advice on how to apply what you learn to your hair care journey, and a community to work with you from where as you go from where you are to where you want to be on your natural hair and self-love journey. We'll be trying out new things together, going on challenges, sharing experiences, getting questions answered with facts, and overall helping each other throughout our way in the natural hair journey, and making amazing friendships along the way too. So, how do you register? Enrollment opens on February 1st, 2021 through the Patreon platform. All you have to do is visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description and the chat box, and let's get started. So I'm going to wait for a few somethings to see if anybody has any questions. By the way, thank you, Kekeli. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I did not. Thank you very much. You said I'm pretty. I'm shy. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for a little bit and see if there's any questions. And if there's none, then we can as well end this program. So you guys can definitely know that I'll be keeping you updated on my projective hairstyle. If you missed the beginning of the video, I was talking about how I wanted to style my hair in a protective hairstyle, and I've been thinking of which one to do. So my plan is while I'm getting the hairstyle, I would most likely film, and then I'll just, take you guys through a journey with me, like a vlog, but then of me doing my hair. So if you're interested in that and many more natural hair content to come, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time.